Hi, many of you thought manager is also a leader. So these two terms used interchangeably, actually, they are not the same. There is some overlap between the work that managers and leaders do, but these two terms have different meaning and they should not be used interchangeably. Both simply have a unique sets of skills, characteristics, and functions that share a few similarities. They also show some strong differences in some circumstances. For example, people lead without a managerial role, while some managers do not practice leadership. We can define leadership as a process of social influence which maximizes the efforts of others toward achieving a goal or a specific target. It is the art of motivating a group of people. On the other hand, management is the art of work done through people with the satisfaction of the employer and the employee. In fact, as John O'Leary says in his article in the Harvard Business Review, the differences between managerial activities and leadership activities may all come down to the personality of the specific manager, leader that you are talking about. So these often blur and overlap right down to the level of the individual, depending upon their role, personality, and scope of their responsibilities. Having a title of manager or supervisor doesn't mean you are demonstrating leadership qualities. On the other hand, you don't need a leadership title to act as a leader in any given situation, but most individuals I have met who have an official supervisory position, they have some managerial activities and some leadership activities at the same time. Because these are not opposite sets of skills, they are complementary. Leadership is all about influence and empowerment, and unlike management, whether it's accurate or not, there is a bit of mystery around what great leaders do and the power of their influence. As Abraham Zinklin mentioned in his Harvard Business Review articles, when we think about the ability to attract and inspire followers, there is what you might call charisma, or at least communication confidence, that makes people want to follow the leader. That's maybe why some people see the concept of leadership as more interesting. The essence of management can be summarized as management activities are driven by control, rational mindset, and the coordination of others' activities. Abraham Zinklin again says the manager asks questions as what problem have to be solved and what are the best ways to achieve results so that people will continue to contribute to the organization. Then management is about solving problems, accomplishing tasks, and maintaining the system. What is the differences between aspects of leadership and management? First difference is about the source of power. The power of leaders and managers comes from different sources. The manager's authority comes with their official position and a chain of command. Managers get their power from their job description. For example, if you are a supervisor and you are officially in charge of making the schedule, then that's your job to do the task that's tied to the role. Managers have what you might call decision-making power and authority. So let's say you are an ordinary employee. You don't have the authority just to start making everybody else's schedule. That's not part of your job description. A regular employee can't hire or fire people because that's literally not your job. The authority and responsibility to do these tasks is baked into the manager's job position. A true leader will almost never have to rely on the mentality that says, you have to do it because I said so. And I'm in charge. A leader can make us want to follow them. A true leader will have so much influence. Let's say they leave an organization, and maybe the case that a whole bunch of people might follow that leader to help them start a new organization, because it's about the relationship, the connection, and their influence. A true leader will almost never have to rely on the mentality that says, you have to do it because I said so, and I'm in charge. A leader can make us want to follow them. A true leader will have so much influence. Let's say they leave an organization, and maybe the case that a whole bunch of people might follow that leader to help them start a new organization, because it's about the relationship, the connection, and their influence. The second difference is about vision versus administration. Managers administrate toward that vision. They organize and structure people and tasks around specific goals and objectives. Management focuses on bureaucratic tasks and processes like budgeting, staffing procedure, and measuring progress toward those goals, but these are not really opposites. I tend to see these two activities as step one and step two. Leaders cast a vision and align people around that vision. Leaders inspire and empower people to make the vision happen. A leader gets everybody excited about the vision, and the manager translates that into specific goals and objectives needed to get to that big vision. For example, President John Kennedy said in the 1960s that it was his goal or vision to put a man on the moon and bring him back safely by the end of the decade. That's what casting a vision looks like, and then he had to align everybody around that vision. But he didn't manage NASA himself. He didn't create departmental structure, navigation, manufacturing. That managers at NASA and other government agencies articulated specific objectives along the way to achieve that vision and accomplish those tasks. And spoiler alert, they did in July 1969. With just 6 months left in the decade, we put human beings on the moon and brought them back safely. Another differences between management and leadership: risk versus maintenance. Managers maintain the system and move more incrementally toward those goals, while leaders seek to create big changes through innovations, and that means taking risks. This is a complementary relationship, actually, because leadership is all about stretching people, stretching the organization, and for many times advocating for radical changes. But it's the manager's job to control those risks and keep the foundation of the organization strong. One more difference between management and leadership is the communication. Managers' communication tends to be directive and procedural. This pulls together many of the previous elements that we have been talking about. Managers communicate deadlines, requirements, expectations, targets. There is an element of accountability built into managerial communication that people who report to these managers are expected to deliver. Leaders communicate persuasively and inspirationally. Leaders are always looking for ways to get their followers excited, to fire them up, to bring them along on the journey. They lead with their communication. They say, let's go, let's do this. They have what you might call communication confidence that spreads and gives their followers a similar confidence to commit. Many leaders even have a personal, professional story that their followers resonate with. This isn't always the case, but sometimes, or some leaders have a track recorded of past success and achievement, and that credibility helps persuade others that they are capable of doing great things. In contrast, managerial communication is more focused, directive, and procedural. Sometimes one person will do all of these, especially in a smaller organization, simply because they have to. Usually in larger organizations, they will hire specific individual with strong managerial and administrative skills to balance out that driven leader's skills and vision, because ultimately organizations need both management and leadership in equal doses. At the end, I want to say that in a business, it is important to have both great managers and leaders. The organization needs both good manager and leader to achieve these goals. Managers to ensure the things are getting done to reach the company's vision. Thank you for watching. See you in another video. Please like, share, and subscribe.